Thanks all for joining me today. For those of you who joined just now, my name is Stano. I'm Resco's Chief Evangelist and COO. I'm based in our North American office just outside of Boston, Massachusetts. Today's webinar is going to be all about field service. The main topic is Field Service 2.0, Serious Approach to Field Processes. And what I'm going to talk about today is to outline some of the options for organizations using Microsoft Dynamics Field Service or looking for a solution that can bring a lot of value for their field service practices and departments, especially if you have people out in the field. So that's the plan. A little bit of house cleaning information. You are all in the listen only mode, so I'm not able to hear you, but I would like to encourage you to post questions, share feedback, share your ideas, or anything else using the GoToWebinar application in the section questions. I'll try to get to all of your questions towards the end of the webinar. Those questions that I won't be able to answer, I'll make sure we'll follow up after the webinar with help of my more technical colleagues, especially if your questions are beyond my technical knowledge. So with that, let's kick it off. You can also prepare to see a couple of demonstrations. Hopefully the technology will not put me down today. I would love to show you the app running on an iPhone, another app running on my smartwatch, and then a location monitor. A couple of my friends are driving around Boston area, so hopefully we'll be able to see where they are. Good. Very quickly about Resco, for those of you who don't know much about company or have just recently became familiar with Resco. We're a company that's been around since 1999, so well over 20 years. Since the very beginning, we're focusing on mobility, mobile technologies, mobile applications, mobile developer tools, and mobile enterprise solutions. Our most successful product is a platform for creating, designing, developing mobile applications. We have more than 2,500 customers from all around the world who use our technology to mobilize their workforce. And if you want to know some more numbers, these 2,500 customers, they equal roughly 200,000 individual users. Think of this as regular Joe Schmoes that run with their device of choice where they use Resco application. If you heard of Resco and you are a Microsoft customer, chances are you know us through field service. So without walking around this hot topic for too long, we at Resco, we actually agreed with Microsoft a few years back to supply Microsoft with our mobile technology. So what we practically did, we offered Microsoft to use Resco. So Microsoft is OEMing Resco technology specifically for their Microsoft Dynamics 365 field service mobility needs. So the whole Microsoft field service application is based on Resco technology. That means every Microsoft Dynamics field service customer can use the specific version of Resco technology through Microsoft. For those of you who are not familiar what Resco technology means or what are all the pieces that can be used if you're an existing Dynamics 365 field service customer, let me explain it a little bit here. So there are three elements that we provided Microsoft with. The first one is the field service mobile application. It's pretty much what we have put together, the Resco Mobile CRM application, but Microsoft decided to rebrand the application, so it comes with Microsoft's logo, Microsoft's name, and Microsoft is the publisher of this application on all of the app stores. There are minor differences. In general, Microsoft is usually 2 to 3 releases behind Resco. It takes them a little bit longer to take over our latest updates and upgrades. So some of the functionality is not available there right away as with Resco. The other differences are some of the functionality is limited. For example, inspections that we put together is not available in the field service mobile application. And also the functionality, the purpose, the use case is limited to field service. So you shouldn't be using field service mobile application outside of field service scenario. So that's the mobile app. Microsoft has their own application called Field Service Mobile App. It's based on Resco code, but it comes with own logo, own splash screen design, and it's published on all of the app stores by Microsoft. The next piece is the field service template. So this is the application project or the mobile project. So think of that as all the definitions, all the configurations specifically for each customer, the use case, what kind of entities they use, what kind of views, forms, what kind of dashboards you have, synchronization filter, what data you're going to have available in the mobile application, etc. All of that is or sits within the application template, and Microsoft created their own. It's called Field Service Template. In Resco world, it actually means an application project. Lots of our customers on average have 2 to 3 different application projects. So those different definitions of what the mobile users see in the application. And that usually depends on the user role. Think about field service technician versus scheduling manager versus field service manager versus field service lead. They all going to have a little different experience in the application. The technician focuses a lot on the bookings, work orders, the next visits, a calendar, for example. The scheduling manager wants to see a lot of dashboards, bookings, calendars to understand what's going on, how we're fulfilling and progressing through all the schedules, etc., etc. And maybe the field service manager wants to have a comprehensive overview of the performance of his or her team. So for all of these different roles, we can create different application projects specific to the user role that can be available for the mobile users. And what Microsoft did, they created their own field service template to capture most of the general field service functionality. The last piece is the field service configurator or Resco Woodford. If you've played with Resco before or at least started the trial, you probably know that the tool behind this solution is called Resco Woodford. It's the same for all field service customer as it's for the Resco customers. It's really that strong, powerful tool that allows you to completely configure the mobile application project. From very simple stuff such as adding new entities, changing the icons, colors, look and feel of the application, to more advanced, more complex stuff, ending with probably expanding the application with your custom JavaScript code to create some specific functionality. So in a nutshell, what Microsoft is getting from Resco is the complete technology. It's the application project, and the configuration tool, with few limitations, such as the fact that the application is always lagging a little bit behind Resco's. The application project is only intended to be used for field service purpose and can't be extended with lots of new functionality, use cases, etc. So hopefully this is a little bit clearer now. If you're in field service industry, you probably haven't missed the news from earlier this year. In May 2020, Microsoft introduced their first party application for Dynamics 365 field service. What that means in real life, there are now literally effectively 2 applications for field service customers. The new Microsoft's first party application is a Power App based application. So if you're familiar with the concept of Power Platform and Power Apps, that really applies, everything there applies for this new field service application, Power App based. It's a lot of good things, it's some of the limitations, and if you really want to open it and expand it, it's some licensing consequences as well. So what should you do right now if you're an existing field service customer, or if you're planning to implement field service, including the mobile? This is the quote directly from Microsoft's resources. Microsoft actually recommends to continue using the field service mobile app. That's the Resco-based application for all current and new deployments of Dynamics 365 field service. If you contact Microsoft, they probably would tell you something that this is not a quotation, something like, yeah, have a look at the new Power App based application, test it, see if it's good enough for you, but we recommend to use the current field service mobile app. So that's the official story. Now let's put these two side by side, the way we see them at Resco. So literally, as I said, the customers now have two options: the Resco-based application, the market-proven with the bulletproof offline capabilities, great configuration possibilities, and really hundreds and hundreds of implementations all around the world where we've been able to really move mountains for some of the customers. And then on the other hand, we have the new Power App based application that it's in its very early stage. Microsoft's posting a lot of promises to keep building and improving this application to eventually come on par with the current Resco application. So the way I see it, it's not a perfectly great story for the customers, because the one we know that the support will end at some point, and that's the Resco-based application. While the new one, it's the promise, it's the hope, it's probably the future, but it's not there yet. So we at Resco thought, how about we give you a third option, and that's to use the Field Service 2.0, the complete solution from Resco. When we signed the agreement with Microsoft a few years back, our application was 2-3 years younger. Our solution, our technology was younger, but we've made a tremendous progress in those three years. And we believe we have much more now than just a simple mobile app that you can run on your mobile phone or tablet. And we put all of that into Field Service 2.0, a solution that plans to bring or promises to bring your field service practices to a brand new level. Before I get there and explain you what Field Service 2.0 really is, let me talk about some of the challenges that we see customers are facing when they're implementing field service or when they're planning to improve their internal processes. One of the very important one is to get the results on the first visit. Every time a company sends their field service technicians out to the customers, to the site, to fix something, inspect something, etc. This is quite costly. It costs the company a lot of money. So the key is, once my people are out there, we want to make sure that they succeed on that very first visit, so they don't have to come back second time, maybe third time, or maybe somebody else more experienced, more skilled has to come there again. And to really achieve this, it's a combination of number of things, but we at Resco believe that one of the most important ones is to provide these users with technology that is available everywhere and all the time. And that's where offline comes handy. Our technology has been used from countries in South America, Africa, Middle East, Asia, North America, Europe, even in areas such as Antarctica, on some of those cruise ships. That's one of our customers who uses Resco, where there's very limited connectivity and almost no infrastructure at all, yet they're able to use the application and get all the results very quickly on the first try. The second challenge that we hear customers talk a lot about is brain drain. It's actually pretty common that some of the field service technicians, some of the mobile users, they're with the company for a long time, servicing, inspecting, repairing, and maintaining machinery, tools, and infrastructure for years and years and years, and they probably know what they're doing without the need of any manuals, any guides, any supportive material, etc. They keep a lot of that information in their head. They know all the little things, little details about each machine that they go out and service. And once these employees leave, the company loses a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. So we think we have tools that are able to recreate these specific workflows, processes into digital form and provide them through the different types of applications as guides with visual tools, and really help the new employees to cope with the same problems more efficiently. The third issue is the option to do the job right on the spot. It actually happened to me last week. We talked to one of the customers, and their people, they keep working all day because they're using laptop. They never take it out when they're actually doing the job. And once they're finished, they come back home and spend 1 to 2 hours in the evening to uploading everything into their system. We think there's a better solution. We think there's a solution that actually enables these users to use those tools right on the spot. I'll talk about it in a little moment, but the main idea is to really provide your people with the right tool for the right situation at the right time, depending on what they're doing. And I think we at Resco have a perfect solution for that. Two more. If you need help, if you need the help right on the spot, maybe some guidance from your more experienced teams, maybe you need the second pair of eyes to help you with certain problem. We have solution for that as well. We call it Resco Houston. So you can call your people, your colleagues directly from the mobile application, connect in real time, and share an AR video call where they can use their fingers or pens to draw on top of the screen and guide you through the process in real time. And the last challenge is getting extra insights and decisions based on where your people are. Naturally, field service business is about having field service technicians who go out, spending their time, their days, driving from one location to another. Their office is outside. To get there, they usually have to drive or travel. And we have a great solution in a form of Resco routes to help you get more insights, more information, more statistics about where they are, how much time they're spending driving, how their territories look like, and just to make sure that you have tools to decide whether it's going well according to the schedule or not. So those were the challenges. Let's talk a little bit more about what really field service from Resco is, the serious approach to serious field processes. Field Service 2.0 is based on 3 ideas or three modules. The first one is technology, then it's all about the concepts, and the third one is our commitment. Let's look at the first one, the technology. For many of you, you're probably familiar with the platform, Resco platform. That's what actually Microsoft has access to through our deal for their field service mobile client as well. It's the access to the native applications that we've built and keep improving with every release making them more stable, more robust, and adding new functionality and features. These native applications are available for Windows devices, iOS devices, and Android devices. Part of the platform is the configuration tool, Watford, that I mentioned, and a lot of modules that add extra functionality. Example would be security module, auditing, for example, that allows you to track and monitor the actions that the users take in the mobile app. But as I mentioned, over the years, we keep improving the technology and we're bringing a lot more to the table. There's a new layer that is part of Field Service 2.0, a new layer of products that make this solution a more complete tool. The first one is Resco inspections. This can be used as a separate standalone application, or it can be seamlessly blended into the platform, into the existing native applications. Whether you need to create a specific workflow, whether you have a process, or whether you just want to create a quick questionnaire to collect data easily and efficiently, that's exactly what inspections is for. The second new product, which is part of platform, is Resco routes. It comes in two flavors. The one flavor is available for the end user, for the mobile user. So the ability to see all the important information on the map, ability to navigate, optimize the route, and actually use it even when driving. The second flavor is available for the back office. So for the scheduling managers or managers in general, field service leads, which comes in the form of location monitor, a really cool, powerful tool that allows you to see your users out in the field, how they're progressing through their days and through their busy schedules. Again, it can be seamlessly integrated into the platform, or it can be also used as a separate application. And on top of it, that's the third layer, that's innovations. And this is our promise, Resco's promise, that whatever the next big thing is, whatever the next big device is, we're gonna support it. Examples are there already today. That's our support of some of the new technologies that are making their way into the enterprise world, such as smartwatches. And hopefully I'll be able to show you today how Resco works on Apple smartwatch. But we also support Android smartwatch. We also support wearable computers that you can attach to your clothes. We also support AR and VR headsets such as Microsoft HoloLens or Oculus Rift. We also support smart glasses such as Epson smart glasses, the new version of Google Glasses 2. And lots of new devices that we're testing and making sure it works. Maybe for fun, I received a video from one of our partners a few weeks ago where this gentleman tested the application in his car. He sat in his car, turned it on. He has Android Auto enabled in his car, and he was able to actually run the application in the car. We never intended to make this work, but apparently it works perfectly fine. But I think there's a great utilization for that, especially for the navigation. So with the innovations, this is our promise: AI image recognition, new devices, voice control. This is all of the topics that we're working on and want to make sure that are available for our customers. So all of that combined, that's really Field Service 2.0. Let's move on to concepts. This is really simple. This is something that you might be familiar with. The concepts are pretty much some of the ideas behind our technology. The first one definitely is device of choice. We understand that people are different, companies are different the same way. Some of the companies we work with, they have bring your own device policy. Some of them provision their devices. Some of them use the brand new iOS devices. Some of them rely on 2-3 generations older devices, etc. What I'm trying to say, we at Resco we are looking at all of the devices the same way. No matter what your device of choice is, we want to make sure that Resco technology supports it with the native applications. The second concept is continuous experience. This is really a marriage of context and use case. So we're looking at the different activities, different use cases that the users go through during the day. and we try to put a reasonable context in terms of how they can utilize Resco application there. So a typical day of a field service technician could look something like you see here. If I start in the morning in the right upper corner with the scheduling and planning, this is something that the technicians do from their homes, or if they start the work in the office there, they can use their phone, maybe desktop or laptop, to see where they need to go. Maybe they want to reorder some of the bookings. Maybe they know they won't be able to make it to all of the locations. So that's how they usually start the day. When they're ready to go, they get in the car, attach their phone, use the navigation that is provided as part of Resco routes in Field Service 2.0, and use it as a step-by-step system to get to their final destination. Once they arrive, they usually first have to check whether they're operating in a safe environment. Oftentimes, they need to use both their hands to make sure everything is safe, if they need to move some objects, etc. So we enable them to use this on their smartwatches, for example. Then they do their regular work. They fix something, repair it. Maybe they need to document it, so they can use the phone or tablet to do that, collect some data, inspect the machinery. And before they leave, they create a mobile report to document everything and provide a copy to the customer or back office. And if there's something more complex, maybe they need help, maybe they need some guidance, they can, if they're working on a complex repair, for example, they can use some of the new cool fancy technology such as smart glasses, HoloLens, Oculus Rift, or just use the application to call their colleagues in the back office and have the guidance right through the live video call. So that's what we mean by the continuous experience. Use the right tools, enable your users to choose their preferred tool so that they can do that job right on the spot and don't have to bring all of that work back home and spend additional time uploading everything after they should be done with their job or with their day. The last concept is the mission control. So more power to you, the back office teams, in a form of location monitor. This is a combination of maps and specific tool set that allows you to see all the stops of all your people, track them in time historically, so you can swipe to the left to see where they have been in the past, or move the time shift into the future to see where they should be at any given time. And this also works in real time. So just by touching one button, you can see where your users are in the real time. And I'll try to demo this as well. The last part before we get to the demo is the commitment. So this is the promise of Resco, that no matter what the technology will look like in the future, we want to make sure that we are your partner here, not just some other solution. When we started as a company, these was kind of the devices that we were supporting back then. If the future will look like something like this, we want to make sure that Resco is supporting it, and you can count on us with anything that the future might come. The last commitment is with the Resco technology. There comes one asterisk, and that is no asterisks. We believe that when you implement Resco technology, your users shouldn't think whether something's gonna work offline or not, if some activities and actions are going to be available or not, whether this device is supported but this device is not, whether they need to upgrade to the latest version of their Android or iOS operating systems. All these questions, we believe, shouldn't be on your people's mind. That's our job at Resco. We want to make sure that we enable you so that you can do your job the best you can. So enough about the theory. Let's now change gears and do a demo. So let's let me bring my phone. And again, if you have questions, feel free to post them to go to webinar. And I can hope you can still see my screen. You should see a display of an iPhone right in the middle. And as part of the demo, I'm going to pretend that I'm a field service technician. So as part of my day, I'll try to follow that continuous experience diagram that I showed you on the few slides before. I'll go through my bookings. I'll use my route for navigation. When I'll arrive to the spot, I'll go through a couple of inspections, and I finish the day by creating a report. So let's start right there. What you see is a brand new mobile application project that we redesigned specifically for Field Service 2.0. If you used Field Service before, I hope that you can see some differences, some changes, and hopefully you'll find them to be improvements. So the idea was to bring a fresh look, new UI, new design to make the application a little bit more attractive. Let me start with the bookings. So I tap on the bookings at the very top of the screen. This is pretty much a calendar, so I can switch between the views at the bottom of the screen. On the agenda view, I'll see the bookings that are scheduled for today. Again, we try to redesign it a little bit to keep it simple, neat, give you the most important information right here. So I see my start time, the status, and more information about the booking, the customer. What's important is that this calendar, these bookings are actually linked to the My Route. So I have a good idea where I need to be today. So I'll go back and switch to My Route. And as I said, the My Route functionality, it will just take a second until the focus of the map will change to where my data is. But the My Route is linked to the bookings. So if I'll have new bookings added to my calendar, it will show up here on the map. Right now, if you remember, there were 3 bookings in the calendar. So these you can see right here in the My Route. They're numbered 1, 2, 3. And I'm starting my day from the office. So you can see the 4th little pin with those 2 white buildings on it. That's the address of my office. When I tap at the bottom of the screen, I can roll out the tour plan. And here you can see all those points that are shown on the map as well. So the start at the top and the end at the bottom of the screen, those are represented by that little pin. They're the same. It's the work address. And then in between, I have the 3 stops, 1, 2, 3. Those are the bookings from the calendar. These are not editable in default. This is a setting of Dynamics Field Service. So I, as a user, can't change this, but it can be reconfigured so that I'd be able to switch these, maybe reorder them, etc. if I wanted to. We also, the solution gives me more information about the distance between the 2 points and the time that I need to cover that distance. That time is based on the average travel time, and it's not the real traffic time information. So I have a good idea. I'm ready to start my day. So what I'll do, I'll use this for navigation purposes. To do that, it's actually very simple. All I have to do is tap on the little arrow in the right upper corner, the one in the blue circle. And when I do that, that whole tour plan will be moved to Google Maps. So we have full integration with Google Maps. And this will be a really long trip, because I'm based just outside of Boston. As you can see here, I would have to probably take I-90, the interstate highway, to get all the way to the other coast. But if I zoom in here, you will see that we have all those 3 points, including the office address right here. And I'd be navigated to the first one at the very north of the Seattle area. After finished, I'd be able to go to the spot number B and then C and then back to the office. So this is often used by our customers as a navigation system. They don't have to use additional units or devices for navigation, and it can be easily linked with your Apple Car or Android Auto. So let's assume I arrived at the first spot. I go to the bookings, I open it up, and since I arrived here, you might see that we have a new functionality at the top called Stages. So I already arrived there, so I click on In Progress and mark it as current stage. Based on that functionality, we can do a lot of things, such as, for example, track the time. So every time I change the stage, we can start and stop the stopwatch. And we can also show different content on the screen depending on the stage as well. So let me familiarize myself with this booking, with this work order. So I have some general information here. I'll minimize that. I have some summary here, so I know what I need to do. It's a maintenance type. Okay, everything looks good. And underneath, I have inspections. So if you remember, I mentioned that inspections can be seamlessly integrated into the Resco platform. This is the example. I have one application. Inspections is right here, provided as a separate associated view. So right here, I can see some history, some inspections that have been done at this customer before. Some of them have been completed. Some of them are just in progress. So what I'll do now, I'll actually show you how to go through the hazard scan to make sure I can actually work here safely. To do so, I'll utilize my smartwatch, and that smartwatch keeps locking the screen. So I'll just walk you through the process in words now, and then we'll do it together using the screen so that you can also see that. But what I'll do on this device that you can still see here on my mobile phone, I'll start a new inspection. So I'll tap on the plus button. I'll choose the scan checklist at the very top, and then I'll switch to the smartwatch so that you can see all the questions and all the fields there that I'll populate using the smartwatch. So if that sounds good, let me change the camera to my iPad, and that should allow you to see the smartwatch on my table, on my desk. So let's do it right away. I'll start the smartwatch, unlock it, so please don't look, that's the passcode. I'll go into the menu. Here, among other applications, I have mobile CRM, so I'll open it up. It will load the inspection template, and here I'll just go through all these questions. So first I need to confirm the date. Yes, it's September 24th. And the first question, any hazards? I'll answer yes. And I'll answer all the details about the different hazards. So slip, trip, or fall, very low. Strain or overexertion, absolutely not. Any moving objects in the area, maybe medium. Any harmful energy sources, actually high. I'm in an elevator shaft after all. Any harmful objects, low. Have I completed the HAS scan? Yes, I did. The last message is continue on your handheld device. So we're done with that, and we were able to check for all the hazards while having the phone in the pocket and just using the smartwatch always available on my wrist. If I switch back to the Resco application, you will see the result. So here we'll give you the option to see all the answers on one screen. So if you need to change something, maybe something you wanna reassess, you can do it. But if everything's fine, I just hit the save button in the right upper corner. So we save this checklist, and I'm able to actually do my job now. So what I'll do as part of my visit, I'll go through an inspection of the elevator. So let's do that. I'll click on the plus button again and choose the template regular inspection. Here we go. And this checklist, this questionnaire looks a little bit different, as you can see. It's very nicely integrated with all the records in field service. So I have information about the work order, customer, technician right at the top of the screen. That looks all good. Next, I'll have to identify the serial number of the elevator I'm going to be working on or inspecting. I can just type it in, or I can tap on the little QR code in that field and scan a barcode or QR code, and then you'll see the manufacturer and model information will get populated. So let's do that. I have a QR code right here. And by scanning that code, you can see the manufacturer, model, and even last inspection have been filled in. Perfect. General state, this is working, but there are some issues. I heard that, that's why I'm actually here. So let me go and inspect the whole elevator. I'll first inspect the cabin interior. So I'll check for the lights, control panel. If something's not working or it's damaged, or if there's some defect, I can see that right away because we have full support for color coding. But in general, the interior looks pretty good. Cabin exterior, next area to inspect. I need to check the brakes. Left brake, that one's working fine. But I found a bigger issue, the right brake is damaged. And because a brake is kind of a very essential part of an elevator, I think it makes sense that I'll try to repair it right away. Let me have a look at the spare parts. But there's way too many of them, and I'm not really sure what kind of spare part to use. So here comes the AI image recognition from Resco. What I'll do, I'll take a picture of the damaged spare part. The app will help me to identify what kind of spare part it is, and I'll be able to fix the damaged right brake. So let me capture a picture. This is the spare part that I need to fix. I let you guess what this is. Is it a wheel? Is it something else? Who knows? Actually, the AI image recognition from Resco knows, and it has been identified as a brake pad. So if I click on the spare part now, I don't see my whole inventory. I'll see the exact brake pad type 24WM. So I now know exactly what to fix, and now I can say the right brake is okay. I'll check the wire ropes, the securing bracket, and I can move on to the next section. If there are some big issues or some defects that really require to be documented, I can use my camera again. What I'll do, I tap on the camera button within the cabin issues. I choose the option to capture picture. The new thing is we also have support for holographic scene that I'll hope to show you at one of the next webinars to show you how we can add 3D anchors into a scene. But let's just go with the capture picture for now, because this is what I prepared for today. This is the elevator shaft that is in bad condition. I hit use photo. And before I save this, I want to provide some more context of what went wrong. To do that, I'll tap on the little plus button in the right bottom corner. There are two little tags that show up on the screen, and using the best tool we've been born with, the finger, I'll grab one of those tags and place it to a specific location on the picture. So for example, right here. Now all I have to do is tap on that little red tag. I'll open it up and I can say, this is regarding control panel. It's a critical priority. And maybe I'll add some description. The buttons are not working. Perfect. So we captured that, and maybe one more very quickly. I grab another tag, place it right over here, tap on the tag, and I'll say this is regarding wire ropes, and it's a critical priority as well. Just like that, I provided some extra context, extra information for my colleagues when they come here, and we'll try to fix all of those issues. Saved right there. Okay, now just very quickly, because I know we're starting to run out of time. So I'll go over the engine room, and I think you also got the idea how it works now. I'll check all the floors. If I need to recreate some of the steps, there's an option to make that available. So I could check theoretically every floor. So just by tapping on the plus button, I can copy that whole section as many times as I need. And I'm almost finished. The next inspection day has been set for March 24th next year. So in 6 months, that can be, there's some logic behind it that can be set up. And the last thing I'll do, I hit the customer signature button at the very bottom of the screen. I'll sign it to actually approve. I went through the whole inspection, and there we go. I can look it through one more time. Everything looks great. And now the last step, the last thing I want to show you is to create a report. So before I leave the customer, I want to make sure that they have their copy available. How to do this? Very easy. The 3 little dots in the right upper corner, that gives me access to these actions. So I can complete the inspection, or I can complete it with a report. I'll choose the report option. Yes, I'm aware I won't be able to make additional changes, and that's fine. And the mobile report is being built. We support different formats: PDF, Word, Excel, and HTML is supported, and this report is fully configurable. So if you want to add logos, different colors, change what questions and answers are shown here, that's completely possible. Mine is pretty straightforward. So I have all the answers here, the pictures, the additional picture, and then the signature at the very bottom of the screen. And I said I want to leave it at the customers, so I'll tap on those 3 little dots in the top of the screen again. And here are all the actions I can take. So I can print it. Maybe I have an access to a mobile printer, or I can email it to send it to customers' email, or just save it, and then my back office team will take care of it after I sync the application. The cool thing is the reports work even when you have no connectivity, so I can build the report wherever and whenever I want. Job done. I forgot to do one more thing. I'll go to the top of the screen here and I hit the current stage to be completed. I'm done here. When I'll go to the bookings screen, you can see the status has changed. It's completed, and I can get in my car, hit the road, and move to the next one and do anything that's necessary to do there. Just like that, I'm using that one application to go through the whole process. One more thing before I open it up for questions, that's the routes functionality for the backend teams. So let me show you the location monitor in a web browser. I just refreshed the screen to show you some latest data. This is how the location monitor looks like. I have a map view where I have little colorful pins. Please see that they're shown in different color. So depending on the technician and their schedule. So the red car follows the red pins, the blue car follows the blue pins, etc. And I can see where these people are. I have the time shift option here on the right hand side. So I can slide it to the past and I'll see how these people were progressing through their day. So I can see at 10:45, they've been about right here. At 12:07, they are right here, and etc. etc. What's even more interesting, at the bottom of the screen, I can click on the individual technicians. So Roland here, he's visited 3 out of 5 already. So if I click on Roland, I can see he started his day at 9 a.m. here. He's so far at 11:45 right here. He covered 41 minutes and a distance of 7.2 miles. At the bottom of the screen, I can see that this one he has finished with. That was an inspection. There's a repair he did, another inspection. That's where he's right now. This one has been canceled and he needs to do a checkup. So those places where he needs to go, those are shown with that little dotted line. One more thing I want to show you, that's the live view. So all I have to do is turn the live view on. I'm just hoping that not all of them are currently at the location. Oh, the green one is moving, Boris. If I zoom it in, you'll probably see how it's progressing. So there's a little lag of a few seconds. But if I leave it here for a little bit, you should be able to see Boris moving, and we give you information about the speed and direction. So he's moving at around 25 miles per hour, traveling southwest. And the beauty of the routes, you don't need special hardware. This is all based on the GPS module in the smartphones that the technicians use, most probably anyway. So that's the routes. Back to the slides. Resources. If you want to find out more, there's a great opportunity. Join us at Resco Next, our annual conference. If you haven't heard yet, you're going to hear the news very soon. It's being moved to a virtual event due to current situation in the world. We'll be posting more information very soon. Field Service 2.0 is available as a course in Resco Academy, free resource to learn everything about Resco technology, and we have a lot of great content on the YouTube channel if you search for Resco developers there. So let's open it up for questions now, if you have some. So, if you have questions, please feel free to post them in the GoToWebinar application section questions. If you have feedback, if you have anything you'd like to share with me, feel free to use that area as well. And I see there are some questions coming. If you have something else, feel free to reach out to me at my email address, which is very simple. It's my first name at resco.net. And I see some question already here from Dirk. What will happen with existing field service customers after the support ends? Will they have to switch to Resco app? Impact on license cost? Great question, Dirk. We foresee that once the support ends, the customers will have to choose whether they want to use the Power App or the full Resco app. If they choose to use the full Resco app, there will be a cost associated with that. I can tell you, however, that we want to make sure that all the investments that the customers have already made, all the energy that they spent to developing their Resco-based applications, that it doesn't disappear. So we want to offer a really competitive pricing so that these customers can switch to full Resco license. And I suggest to reach out to one of my colleagues who are working in the Benelux region to get in touch with you to discuss individual projects and individual pricing. Question from Rebecca, if there's a need to register for Resco Academy. Yes, but Rebecca, so the way it works, if you just go to academy.resco.net, you can create an account right there. It's completely free, available 24/7, so it's on demand. And you can even go through certification. You can go through some tests there, and you'll get a nice Resco badge and an approval that you've gone through all the courses and you finished them with a test. So free of charge. You need to register, but it's for your own benefit, so you can use it as a resource. Question from Karine. You mentioned that Resco 2.0 is 2 or 3 versions behind Microsoft. When will the 2.0 version be released to all Microsoft customers? So maybe I was a little bit confusing. So what I meant, Karin, was that Microsoft's application is usually 2 to 3 versions behind the Resco's then current or now current application. So it's a little bit vice versa. It takes Microsoft a little longer to take over the code and the newest releases and make them available for the field service customers. The field service 2.0, the demo, the platform, the inspections and routes that I was showing, I'm not really sure that it will ever be available for Microsoft customers through Microsoft, but it's available for all of the Dynamics customers today directly from Resco. So we see the field service 2.0 as probably the most valuable, the most added value feature for mobilizing the field service teams. And this solution has been put together by Resco and is offered as a solution for all the Dynamics and even non-Dynamics customers. If you're interested in a trial, in testing this solution, combining the application with inspections and routes, we can definitely work together, try to set up a trial, see how it works, and what the benefits would be. Hopefully that brought some more light there. There's one more question. Can you sign your inspection cards? Definitely, if you mean to add a signature on the inspections, that's totally possible. Signature is one of the components that can be put anywhere on the inspection form. So anywhere in that application, it can be right there as a white canvas. It can open up a new screen so that you have access to the full screen of the device, etc. But signatures can be put everywhere in the inspection. Thank you, Dirk, for the last comment. I hope we can see each other in person sometime soon and enjoy a cocktail in person rather than having the online virtual conference. Okay, I don't see any more questions and we're actually just right on time. It's 12 p.m. here. So thank you very much for joining the webinar today. Thank you for all your questions. If you'll have more questions or if there's something that will cross your mind in the next few days, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll be more than happy to find more details or get you the right answers. If you'd like to give it a try, let us know as well. We'll help you to set up a trial and hopefully you learned something new today. Thanks a lot and have a great rest of your day.